Hi, beautiful people. So, today we are making, I guess, cupcakes. Yeah. So, let's head on to the kitchen. So, from here, I'm going to do a voiceover because there was so much noise. Now, those are the ingredients that you're gonna need to make the cupcakes, and you're also gonna need a bowl and a weighing scale. Oh, sorry for the dimensions I used. I mean, first video, so bear with me. So if you're using a weighing scale, just set it to the measurements that you want to use and place the bowl and make sure you set it back to 0. So for the flour, it's gonna be 225 grams if you're using the weighing scale, and if not, it's gonna be 1.5 cups of flour. This is going to yield around 16 cupcakes, and I used different measurements, so I got 24 cupcakes. You want to sieve the flour and then add the sugar. So the sugar is also 225 grams, but if you're not such a sweet tooth, you can always reduce the amount of sugar. And then you add the cocoa powder. You want to use cocoa powder, don't use drinking chocolate, because cocoa powder is richer in chocolate than drinking chocolate, so you'll get better cupcakes with cocoa powder than drinking chocolate. So if Tessa would hurry up. Finally, so you're gonna do the baking soda, which is half a tablespoon, and the baking powder, which is half a teaspoon. If you use self-raising flour, then you do not need to add the baking soda or the baking powder. So all that this does is let your cupcakes rise as they bake in the oven. You also don't want to put too much baking soda or baking powder because it's gonna be a little bitter and no one likes bitter cupcakes. So from here, you're just gonna mix the dry ingredients. So from here, you can use a hand whisk or a mwiko, but I used the whisks from the hand mixer because the less utensils you use, the less utensils you have to wash. So you don't need the weighing scale anymore. You can just set that aside and give your dry ingredients a really good mix. Just make sure it's good and even so that you get good cupcakes. So I changed bowls because the bowl was a little too small for the dry ingredients. And if you find yourself changing bowls, just change them really slowly, because cocoa powder can get a little, it's light, so it can go all up in the air and give you a good cough, and no one wants to be coughing at this time. So I then mixed it again just to get nice even looking thing, and that's it for the dry ingredients. So you just want to set that aside and we work on the wet ingredients. So the wet ingredients, I started with the eggs. You're gonna crack them in one by one. I used 4 eggs, but if you're following the actual measurements I gave you, you're gonna use 2 eggs, but you can always add just 1 more. So you're gonna crack the eggs in one by one. Use a separate small bowl to crack in the eggs so that you know, sometimes eggs get spoiled and you don't want to spoil all the eggs by putting like the last egg you're cracking in and then you find it spoiled, so then you've just wasted all the eggs. Anyway, so then you're gonna do the vegetable oil, which is a quarter a cup or half a cup depending on your preferences, but you would use less because no one wants oily cupcakes. And then you're gonna use buttermilk. So I didn't have buttermilk, so you just use normal milk and add vinegar. You can also add a little bit of lemon juice and it's gonna turn into buttermilk. So when you add the vinegar or lemon juice, just mix it and let it sit for around 2 to 3 minutes, and you know, some science stuff is going to happen and you're going to get buttermilk. So after those 2 to 3 minutes, this is what is going to happen to your milk. It's going to look a little spoiled, but that's what you want. So that's buttermilk. So you add the milk to your wet ingredients and you mix them really nice, and you add your wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. So from here you can use a normal hand whisk, you can use a hand mixer, and this is what's going to happen. You mix them nice until it looks like this. Make sure all the flour is mixed well in it and it's gonna be this wet, like this is the consistency you're going to have. So from there you get your muffin baking tins or your sufuria or your just normal baking tin, and you butter it. I used Blue Band, as you can see, and I then gave it a little dusting with the flour, and that's what happened. So from here you're basically just almost done. You add the butter to your baking tins. I used a small flannel cup. It's a measuring cup basically. Yeah. So when I was talking about buttering, I mentioned the sufuria. You can just add, if you don't have muffin baking tins, you can add this to a sufuria or a full blown baking tin, and you will get a cake. You would have cupcakes obviously, so you can just get a cake and it's still going to taste nice, but keep in mind that it's going to take longer in the oven. It will take around 45 minutes, but from like 40 minutes just keep on checking with a fork or a toothpick if it's ready. So if you poke the fork in it, it's gonna, if it leaves pieces of cake, that means it's not ready. So just give it a few more minutes, and when you poke and it comes out clean, then it is ready. So as you can see, I was filling them to like around 3/4 of the height because it doesn't really rise that much. I forgot to mention that you should preheat your oven to 180 degrees. So make sure everything is nice and toasty inside there before you add your baking tins or your sufuria. So if you have racks like ours, don't put the solid rack at the top. You'll see why I'm saying that in a few. So then set your timer to around 20 minutes if you're doing the muffins, and if you decided to go the cake route, set it to around 45 minutes. So I set mine to 20 minutes, but my muffins, my cupcakes, took around 25 to 30 minutes to fully bake. So as you can see, there's this one that just came out in really weird shapes. This was because of the solid rack that was at the top. That's the one that was at the top, and it got too much heat, so they did that. And you switch them. If you do 2 racks, you make sure you switch them when it's like halfway, and don't shake it too much because your cupcakes will collapse. So with all the talking, this is the final result. Of course, I put the good ones on the display because no one wants ugly things out there. So yeah. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and you're going to try making the cupcakes. If you do, please comment down below and let me know how it goes. If you liked this video, please like, comment, share and subscribe. And yeah, that's where I say finito to this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.